I guess one way to ensure that it outputs in the right direction, so-called smart assembly. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, I need another one of these. I don't mind if I get a lot more than another one. Right, I'm going to clear this up. Because at this point, this whole area is now safe from any incoming danger. Let's clear everything up. This is, for the time being, my manufacturing area. Now, I can, of course, make the manufacturing area down here. And that's the goal. We'll have one bridge down there, one bridge up, and then it'll all go back up to this. But for the here and now, that's not what we've got. All I want is... I want... the conveyor belts. I want walls. Do I need any more walls? It's startling how many walls you end up going through, actually. We want one splitter. Copper coin. These in. Okay, I want these to be splitters. Copper coins. Well, technically, I could make a copper coin and silver first, and then we will get the splitter gold. Yep. That should be everything I need. Because to make the gold, I'm going to need, what was it again? Shields and splitters. So I will need at least one splitter being made for me. I'll wait until I can actually place that one, though. I just swallowed something that I shouldn't have. We did show the Meteor Who's Boss, and then the Dapplings danced my frames to death. It was an interesting experience, to be certain. I can now also produce spider spawners if I want to. Because if it works once, it'll work forever. And because we're reliant on area damage here, it doesn't change based on how many guns are there. Like, this is area damage. It will always do this much damage now. So any amount of spawners will be able to achieve this output. I hate you. I suppose you're always going to try and output in some weird direction, aren't you? Annoying, but okay. It'll probably be the same for the gold. We'll move the gold. Because it's going to take things out from two different directions. That said, actually, the way I can take care of this is I can force everything that's being manufactured to go back out. So it'll only ever take inputs and then outputs in one side. That would work. In fact, that would work quite well, I would say. As long as the output of something is never right next to it. Okay. Given that, then, let's make sure that the coinage is a little bit further away. Let's make you... Well, you can stay there for now, I suppose. Silver coin. Copper coin. Gold coin, rather. There we go. And yes, it matters. to me. It matters to me, specifically. Alright. This is all going well. At this point, I could comfortably replace some of this with Cyclopses, which shoot faster. Less damage, but faster attack speed is generally going to be just useful. Let's rejig this a little bit. You can just hang out with the monsters, it's fine. So, one Cyclops there. Cyclops here. The nice thing with the Cyclops is that this is basically their maximum range. They're pretty much made for this use case. Can we get another one? This should be okay, though. We will see. We've always got that at the end, just in case. In fact, for now, I can just add it in. They're not going to get their maximum output by doing it this way, but that's fine. Now, the thing with skeletons is because of the nature of the weapons you have to use against them, you really have to be very specific with the way you attack them. You can't just build a massive... Like, once you've got enough area effects, you're like, well, I can just have as many spawners as I can fit now. That'll never change. It really doesn't work like that for these, sadly. I need one more. Pop this down here, and this one will make splitters for me. One splitter into the gold coin. Now, I don't really care how frequently I'm getting the gold coins. We'll eventually have enough. The other thing I want one of is a bridge. And the other thing I want a lot of is these. So let's just try and make as many of those as I can. Yeah, it wants to output I feel like it wants to output in a direction that isn't one of its input directions. That's my gut on why it acts the way it does. There we go. Now, what I don't want is to accrue large amounts of splitters, because I just don't use them like that. I am happy having splitters only show up and get used up in the filters in the job that I'm making them for. I would like more of these and more of these. Let's make more of these. As this will get me more of those delicious, desperately important webs that I need so many of. I wouldn't mind making more of them, but that's going to take a long time to get to. Now, we could build a cauldron pretty much at any point. Now, the issue with building cauldrons is they have a very unique way of deciding what type of potion they're making. In that they will make a potion of the tier of the single highest component that has ever been put in it, regardless how many. So, for example, if you want a white potion, but you ever let a shield get in there, well, tough. You've now got a red potion. Which is good in some ways, because if you accidentally put a dragon tooth into a cauldron, you definitely want to get the most bang for buck out of that. You don't want it to make a common old garden trash white potion that you can make with literal trash when you've used a dragon tooth to make it. You want a yellow potion out of that. But it does mean that it's a little bit bad when you've got sushi belts like this, because that's a lot harder to control. What I could do is I could have the white potions be made at this point, because this is only white tier stuff. And then I could have other potions, for example, red potions, be made when there's at least one shield being introduced. But the problem there is that I don't want to use more shields than necessary because they're the more complex and important component in the process. So it's one of these tricky ones. Do I want to build the other bridge first? No, I would like to get potions on the go first. It would be nice to be able to upgrade some things. So the first one you want to go for, and as quickly as you can, is obviously the potion requirement, because this reduces the amount of ingredients required for any potion. Because right now, you've got to put 10 things into a cauldron, and it'll make a potion based on the highest tier of any of those 10 things. This would reduce it to 9, which is great. Also, conveyor belts, that's a huge one. Because again, remember, conveyor belts do not affect mobs, they only affect mob drops. But if I place this down here, we'll see. So, if I use spiders, if the highest tier item is trash, literal trash, scales or spider's webs, it'll make a white potion. If the highest tier is a shield or slime, it'll make a red potion. If the highest tier is a dragon tooth, it'll make a yellow potion. And if the highest tier is chest core, a ring, or an egg, it'll make a purple potion. So we can quite comfortably make these potions down here if I want to. This will only make white potions at this point. And if I put another one here, it'll only make white potions at that point too. And to that end, it might be wise for me to just ever so slightly make sure that the shields never even get remotely close to those cauldrons. Not until I'm ready to make red potions, which I will eventually, and I'll probably put it over here, honestly, because then it'll just be able to pick whatever it wants, and sometimes it'll be white and sometimes it'll be red. It's not going to be an exact science, and I'm okay with that. Right, potions can go here. Gold coins, which we are now collecting, can go there. Perfect. Want more spider's webs, realistically, but I also want more of everything, actually. Let's go ahead and get all of these, because again, these don't care. I can send an infinite amount of stuff through here. It won't matter. I am going to buy one of these. A single one. Hello, my old and cherished friend. Care to express our undying friendship via buying more stuff? Finally, a shopkeeper who is honest about their feelings. You know what? I like you, little imp merchant. You are the best of your profession. Maybe not the best at your profession, but definitely the best of your profession. Noble imp is noble. I'm going to pop that down there, because this is going to be able to hit things a long way away. Which is great. Let's continue placing these down. I want another spider's web over there, and fill this out. I enjoyed the first taste video of this game that you made. Oh, thank you very much, Sir Wallslayer. Was it a discount in the shop? Did I miss something? I may have. If so, I do apologize. But we can already make the conveyor upgrade, which is tempting. In fact, yeah, that's what we're going to go for. Conveyor first. There we are. Conveyor is going to be a little bit faster now. It'll scarcely be noticeable, but it is there. After this, there's only 2 more that I want of these. And then we've got all of them that we can have. That's it. We no longer need any more of these. That's as many as we're ever going to build. Now, all of it can go into making the spider spawners. And that's all of the worms that we're ever going to have at the same time. Yay, a streak, finally! Welcome, mate. Oh, I know the AoE towers kill them beforehand, but I need to accrue these anyway, so I don't see any reason not to just have one of those there. I guess I could actually expand this out a little bit further if I ever feel the need to. But I would like another cauldron. How many shields have we currently got? Got 18. Yeah. Okay, if I have a look at islands to buy, I can buy slime up top. Slime is, of course, useful. Basically, slime is going to give us skeleton spawners. Now, for slimes, I was not being very sensible the last time. In that I wanted overwhelming firepower in order to take on the slimes. But it was pointed out that I probably don't need that as much as I thought I did. No, it's true. You really are my favorite customer. You have many admirable traits. Copper coins, silver coins, gold coins. Once again, you are the best version of your guild, little imp merchant. Never ever change. I could just grab a bunch of them. I think slimes are affected by slows, so may as well grab a couple of those. Oh, I mean, I need a lot of these towers anyway, so I may as well start buying them right now. Bomber Bum. It took me a few seconds to double check. Because my dyslexia sometimes makes me think people have got memeish names before, and then I say it, and then I'm like, oh, no, you didn't actually write that. Whereas, if you've written your name to be that, I assume you're fine with me calling it. However, I may as well just be buying them anyway, because I'm going to need a lot of them eventually, and then I'll just take them away from the places I don't need them. It's basically like a turret bank, if you want to think of it like that. May as well grab that too. Grab that. Right, okay, let's go ahead and purchase slimes. So, slimes. They eat items. This is a sad, sad thing. Because I don't want them to eat the items. But here they are, trying to eat the items. Swines. Yeah, I can put things up there. So. The way we do this. As long as you can get the items off the route that the slimes are on, this is going to be one of those times when you don't want it to be on that route. So, the items should, in every possible opportunity, get off the route that the slimes are taking. This is easier to achieve than you might think, because the slimes don't care about stuff going down this way. They only care about stuff ending up in this direction, in the direction they're trying to go. So something like this, as long as it's the shortest route, or if I take this away, it says skellies don't eat items. I could have this. Well, actually, yeah, I can still have this here. That's still not a problem. As long as this is not accessible in that direction. This part, I do want to go and grab this from down here. So they'll take this tight corner. And then they're going to take this relatively See, that unless I have this tile here, I need them to take that tight corner specifically. Let me see how I can do this. Then want them to go. Well, actually, I suppose it isn't a problem. I'd still have to have them cross that path, though. Okay, let's try this. I think they would have to eventually cross over each other, which is the problem here. Oh, one interesting facet about AoE towers, you can't place two AoE towers next to each other. Not of the same type, anyway. Let's pull this back down. I think I do want to just try to keep them tight to this wall. Now, this is not how I would normally... This is not my first choice on how I would take slime items off the conveyor. But it was pointed out in one of the comments that we could try it this way. And you know what? I'm down for experimenting. Definitely. Ugly as sin, I grant you, but as long as it works, don't much mind. I can't remember how much damage a slime can handle. Okay, we can't get any more of those. Right, now at this point then we switch over to the arrows. Might need multiple bridges to make this work, which actually isn't a terrible problem. We can definitely do that. But the main one needs to come down here. Though I suppose it doesn't actually. Okay. Only if the Skellies have full access to this area does that need to be the case. Normally we can just do it like this. So, there we are. We'll see how this goes. Hey, old dragon, how you doing, mate? And Trash Bambi, thank you very much for the 4 months. And Temp Hawk TV, diolch yn fawr iawn for the 43. Thank you so much. But let's see if this works, because I mean I've got a stupid amount of conveyors. I don't really care if the slimes take certain shortcuts here. But I want to see how far they get. This is a bit of a worry, because they might be able to get quite far at this point. But let's just see how far they go here. So around here, I'm gonna want it to branch it off in every direction. There's going to be this little danger zone over here. But that's just going to be something we're going to have to live with. If they get to this point, I'm almost tempted to say, hey, you made it. Well done. You deserve to eat my base. Of course, I'm not going to, but tempted to. Right, let's see how this works. The slime mechanic is that they eat items. So if a slime can access an item, it will just devour it. And obviously in a game where I need to collect their items, that's not great for me. There we are. One out of the way. Oh, did that go? No, it already ate that one. That's kind of a pain. All right. That one got out of the way. That one got sent back. Okay, 3 out of 4. If I have enough Cyclops turrets, I can make this work. I would sooner have them have it be a little bit more automatic. 15 white potions. Red conveyors. Now I need to start getting red potions at some point. 3/4 isn't too bad. Yeah, the fact that that particular slime is getting pulled up there is a pain. Not a rogue AI. Thank you so much for the 71 months. Oh my god, that's an incredibly high number. My goodness, thank you so much, mate. And also, let's get some shout-outs in chat. The mods have been very, very good at picking up the shout-outs from the previous raids, but they may be sleeping right now. Let's find out what Old Dragon was playing. There we go. You were doing makers and crafting. What were you making and or crafting? I wouldn't mind seeing how possibly using a gas trap would help out here. Let's see if that would work. Let's get rid of you. I can't put it there, of course. Okay, let's pop that there then. Right, it's going to do constant damage. Should make them a little bit easier to kill, but it doesn't look like it really does enough to get rid of them. Maybe if I replace them all with the constant gas traps. How much health do they have coming out? 3.5. This is doing very little, but I think maybe turn all 2 of them into gas traps, that would do enough. We'll see. It's now a little bit of overkill because they're kind of overlapping a bit, but let's have a watch. Ultimately, I want to get rid of them before they get all the way down here. No, that one... Ooh, this is even worse. Well, I mean, technically, it's still the same amount. Yeah, it is all about the turret damage. Getting rid of those. Well, the other way of doing that, then, is using these. It was an awful lot of effort for essentially extremely little gain, but you can definitely give it a try. Effectively, the way you can attack, take on slimes, is the same way you take on skellies, in that you will always attack them from behind. So the last one is always the one that gets... The last one in the queue is always the one that gets killed. And that way, there's nothing there, you know, behind it in order to eat it. Putting a slow trap in the middle and the gas traps at the top and the bottom, that might also work, yeah. Let's try that particular setup. Also, why am I accruing these in my inventory? What happened with that? Is my 1 gold not able to use it enough? It may be the case. Maybe I need 2 of those then. Right, let's have a quick look. Because it would be amazing if I could create a setup which could kill them passively, that I would then not have to babysit. And it could consistently remove every single slime. If we could make a system like that, then I would be able to get rid of a lot. In terms of... I could be able to put down a lot of slime spawners, which would be grand. Now, the one thing I would say about slime spawners, though, is later on you get the ability to tunnel. And that changes things pretty remarkably, actually. Put the gold one here. We can now make platinum coins. We can also make the advanced sorters. We can make the graveyard skeleton spawners. We are going to need to start getting an occasional bit of tier 2 loot to be able to make red potions. We're fast approaching the point where I actually need to bring things down into a specific crafting area. Sufficient. What am I missing? I'm missing the shields. Always missing the shields for some reason. Probably because I keep buying things with them. Sample production. Yeah, we need to get onto the cauldrons. But if I want to make the platinum coins, what does it require? 2 gold, 1 slime, makes a platinum coin. And that would allow me to buy this. I've also got the rats over here that can produce trash. The trash is especially important. Oh, no. That's going to scupper my slime escapades, isn't it? But the trash is especially important because it has no use. It is absolutely pointless. Except you can use it to make potions. So that becomes my primary potion source for white at that point. Right. Got 5 turrets down here. I'm gonna get the bridge before I buy the well, actually I can get another cyclops. We're almost there for the bridge. Here, and I would like you to make me platinum coins, please. Occasionally. This is becoming a very, very full line at this point. So let's just make sure it gets where it's going. As I'm getting a little nervous, it might not. You don't have to worry about these. They never produce enough for that to be a problem. But this is starting to get a little bit choppy. I believe you can build... Can you build walls on a bridge? Because if I could use that to my advantage. 26 there. Yeah, 3 out of 4 loot. If I could get 3/4 of all of the loot generated purely through passiveness... that would be fine. I would scale this up massively to just produce huge amounts of slimes, and that would be absolutely bonkers good. That would not be an issue. Not be an issue even remotely. It's getting to that, which is the tricky part. Can I make this bridge? Yes, I can. Thank you. Alright. So, root down, root up. Now then, we're going to relocate all of my crafting down here. However, one thing I'm going to make... And this is what I'm going to need my one splitter as well. Right. I'm going to want... red potion production. in this direction. And for that, I'm going to want to move... Honestly, slime is probably ultimately going to be the easier thing for me to make, because skeletons can only be shot with a gun. That makes them very hard to farm for me, or at least conceptually that makes them feel much more dangerous. And at that point, I want half of all of the skelly loot to go this way, and the other half to go back onto this line. I could put it up here, realistically. Maybe I don't need to move all of this down here. But I am going to need to still split it. And the reason for that is I'm going to want a splitter down here, a filter. Splitter will send in that direction. The other one will just come out here into a little... branch there. So splitter here. I want this to filter out slime. Half of the slime is going to come this way. The other half is going to go over there. I now want a cauldron. Cool. And when that happens, I want the cauldron to output in this direction. Wall up there. Go. And this will output a red potion, I should imagine. But mostly, it's going to be pulling in tier 1 cauldron potion components. It will pull in the odd extra slime. That is fine. Right now, it's going to make a white potion. It's already output the red potion some way. I'm not sure which direction it went. Oh, it's outputting there. Good. So at this point, I'll make another white potion cauldron. So that keeps at least half of the slimes going the right way, and then occasionally some of the slimes get used up to make potions. Oh, are you still seeing eco-voting stuff going on? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go and disable the integration on that. My bad. I mean, I guess it's still going on, technically, so... That is... Chat, do you want me to leave it up for now? I mean, I could if there are people in chat who are finding it useful, like just for this stream. I don't mind leaving it for the time being if you would like me to. It's not a problem. Actually, I'd kind of like to have multiple red potions being produced, so let's go ahead and do what I was just trying to do. So filter comes this way, into a splitter, sends some of them in that direction, the rest go back onto the main line. We've got 1, 2. So I would potentially have 3 pulling red potions here, potentially. Then I could have comfortably 3 white potions over here. That wouldn't be... Why have I... Oh, man. Okay, so clearly I would need an extra splitter to get rid of any potions that shouldn't be on this way. Extra filter, rather. This is getting a little bit tight now. Let's shunt all of this over by one. Still got that over there? Yes, I have. Let's get rid of all of you. so. What on earth is going on there? Pop these in there. Pop those coins there. Still need these over here. Guns can go there. That's all okay. I want these down here. And the splitter. Alright. So, first things first. I only want slimes to be split off. Because they're... oops, sorry, wrong place. They're my cheap and cheerful ones. Slime's going in that direction. Directly into a splitter, which takes most of them back. The ones that don't get taken back cycle back through. But I would want one extra splitter down here to manage the to remove any potions, basically. And this remove good. Because each type of splitter, like actually, this is a good opportunity for me to showcase that. Each splitter has a different amount of things that it can split. So a basic splitter can't split potions. The advanced one can. Also on that note, I can upgrade the cauldron. So now it only requires 9 ingredients instead of 10. But now I need yellow potions for the rest. Sad but true. May as well upgrade these. Let's make everything a little bit faster. I don't trust that, actually. So, let me pop this here. Potions. Because this area is going to have a lot of gubbins for us to work through. An awful lot of gubbins. So I want 1 cauldron here. 1, 2. Sure, that's fine. This goes along. We'll meet up with this. And then we're back into our regular territory. Do we want something much the same we've got over there? Yeah, kind of. Let's squeeze this in a little bit more. So this would be able to... There's going to be a lot of materials here, which is my concern. It's because they do start jamming up the queue a bit. Yep. So something like this. Give us quite a reasonable construction area. Some of the construction, for example, the potions, I'm just going to have the white potions made down here. I will split off construction to other areas as well. That's fine. And I see no reason to change this construction area. Like, why? That serves no purpose to remove that. But this one does serve a purpose in what it does. That this will, right now, just purely be for red potion construction and then some extra crafting down the bottom. And I think that's okay. Let me get a couple more of these. 2. I'll wait for this to be made. Actually, no, I won't. 1, 2, 3. This is going to drastically increase my output of white potions now. Because I can. I would love it if the textures merged there, but it's fine. I don't really... it's not really an issue. Do I want to make more of these? I can't, so there's no point. There we are. I've still got areas over here for me to do more construction, actually. of something. I don't know what. Technically, I'm still bringing the shields over here as well, so there's actually quite a lot of stuff that could get pulled in here to make a potion. I could get rid of that by having this allow... And, see, that's a problem. Is it needs a dedicated output side. I was hoping that would work, but apparently not. Yeah, you've only got a whitelist on the sorter, sadly. Okay, let's get rid of that. That's not working the way I was hoping. I guess one thing I could do is, again, since the shields are the more difficult thing for me to gather in large quantities, I'm okay with letting them simply bypass this process, and that way only slime could potentially become a cauldron item. And at this point, it's just pure luck on what gets used. Actually, remove that. If it grabs slime, then it will turn red, and if it doesn't, it'll stay white, and that's just the way it is. And now it's got a dedicated output point. That works. Couldn't you have whitelisted the slime and had to go the other... I had slime whitelisted onto the back area to be used as a component in making the red potions. But there's no real way of me guaranteeing... Like, because the potion... the cauldron was then pulling up... outputting red potions on the top. It's not quite what I wanted. And now it's not pulling the slime, which is... itself a problem. I guess I could have the slime whitelisted over here. Wouldn't be an issue since everything is now going that way. Oh, damn it. Let me cancel that because I've still got one. In fact, I've got two now. That would give a much higher chance that slime is available for it to pull. Still not a great one, though. I mean, the other thing is that I could just dedicate half of my slime to production of this, but the trick here is wanting to get the most bang for buck out of it. That is to basically use just as little of the high quality stuff as I possibly can. Flip only changes the direction of the output, not whether it's whitelist or blacklist, unfortunately. Oh, wait. Got an idea. Dangerous state of affairs for me to be in, but I do have an idea. Let's remove all of this for a second. If I have slimes broken off there, no longer matters if I output red potions above or not. Slimes will simply accumulate down here at this point. That will work. Of course, I don't want it necessary to do that. I do want, if some of the slime gets down here, I want it to go down this way. Well, it's still not an ideal situation, but I do want some of the slime to make it out. So realistically, I want the filter to happen here. No, I need it to go in this direction, which makes the flipper really difficult for me to make work with this. I need the splitter to happen much later. But right now, it would push all slime on here. All of it. So I would no longer get any slime elsewhere. Which obviously is not quite ideal. Let's play around with this a little bit more. How about instead I have all conveyor belts move out this way. All the regular ones. But for slime, which I am going to split off in this direction. Now this is what flip does. You notice that little purple triangle there? That's showing me which way an unfiltered item goes. So slime will go this way always, but the everything else will go that way or this way. Now that slime is up here, I can split some of it off there. Rather, some of it will just... no, because I use slime in my recipes as well, so I kind of need it to get down to them. This is a tricky problem. I almost feel like I need two splitters. One to split the slime off for use as a material for creating potions, and... Oh, of course. Why am I making this so complicated for myself? Oh, my lord, I feel like a dumb. I'm not. Well, I should stop speaking so ill of myself. But I was overcomplicating the problem. Like, massively overcomplicating it. All I need do is filter for slime again. And if it isn't slime, let it out. So a double filter. Once slime is on this conveyor belt, it should stay on this conveyor belt. But otherwise, it should be allowed out. There we go. That... Oh. Helps if I tell it to filter slime, doesn't it? Well, I guess they'll get back out. There we go. Now that that's there, this should, over time, accrue a reasonable amount of slime back here to turn things into red potions. Now, the other question is that, you know, I don't want other materials that aren't, like, tier 1 to go through here. Slime's already... Well, actually, let me move this back. I just wasted some, but in a game with infinite resources, that's not really a problem. Slime is already going through here. Don't really want the other component, which is Skelly Shields going through there, so I could just branch Skelly Shields out at this point. They can get a area all for themselves. Flip. And I want skelly shields. Now, technically, this is kind of bad because realistically, all I've done is meant that if there's dragon's teeth here, these are going to probably be yellow potions, which is not quite, but you know, it'll be okay. These are now guaranteed to be made of slime, but only a little bit every now and then. By and large, they're going to be made of low-tier components. This feels so surplus to demand, but skeleton shields are a much more precious resource for me. Like a much, much more precious resource for me. Since they're used for getting some of the more important traps. That being said, I suppose I could just filter it off here, couldn't I? Like, once I've made platinum coins, I don't need the... Well, right now, I don't need them for anything else. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that idea. Sure, that's going down that way. This is for... oops, sorry, my bad. I want to make sure it's going that way. I then need to flip it, and I need to make sure that this is for skelly shields only. Make sure that works. Yep, skelly shields getting passed through. Now, the way the game works is... The reason why I'm building walls all over the place, you're probably already starting to notice there's a lot of congestion. Eventually, the congestion will get bad enough that it will stop things from passing through, or things will start falling off, or they'll slip onto the wrong belt. Putting the walls mitigates some of the problem, not all of it though, but it does a reasonable job at limiting how bad that can get. There we go. We're not using very many slimes here as it stands. This conveyor belt is going to slowly fill up. Once I've got another cauldron, it'll help a little bit. But occasionally we see a couple of white potions on there that shouldn't be there. But that's not too terribly bad, in my opinion. Right, let's improve the speed of the conveyor belts. There we go. And at this point, let's upgrade you and upgrade you. And I would like to improve how fast things make stuff. All of this work for something so trivial. Right, our next goal is diamonds. How does one make diamonds? I'm fairly certain that's a magical crafter. And that's a whole other kettle of fish. We don't even have the materials to make magical crafting yet. But we will. There we are. Right, that should help out quite a lot. There you go. Alright, get a couple more of these. Perfection. 10 Cyclops turrets, nice. Okay, at this point, yeah, we could actually afford to unlock the rat area, at which point I wouldn't need to be making any of these anymore. I could make all of my white potions out of trash, because trash has no use in anything else. The only place you can use trash is in white potions. That's it. Sorry to draw out. My bloody cat just chewed through my landline. Oh, wow. Again, it's not even been 2 days since I got OpenReach out to fix it the first time. But I won't be able to continue watching as I don't have much mobile data. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sir Wallslayer. Also, is your cat okay? I guess it's a landline, so it's not like it's going to be a massive amount of current going through it, but still. If your cat is happy to chew on your internet cables, then might also be happy to chew on power cables. Scary, scary stuff. Alright, I need to purchase lots of these. We want to try and make this passive. And again, as long as I'm getting like 30% of stuff,